everybody. About 2:30, 3 o'clock. Getting a little bit of a late start today, and it's about 42 degrees. Right now there's no breeze blowing, so it feels pretty good actually here in the sun. Brought some stuff for an overnight, and I intend on working on the lean-to a little bit tomorrow. It's going to be almost 60 degrees tomorrow. I believe low 30s tonight. Not real sure. As it stands right now, I don't have enough firewood, so I'm going to have to get busy here. First thing I want to do is set up camp, let you guys see what I brought with me. Thanks for coming, everybody. Stick around. You may or may not be able to see where I'm going with this just yet, but you will in just a minute. It was kind of my intention to use this thing here as a little screen house sleeping place during the summer if I go tent camping. So I added the extra bow in the middle back there. Let me show you guys what that looks like. It kind of drooped in the middle a little bit, and you never could get it pulled hardly tight enough to make this area here of a decent height. So the old Coleman tent that I got the other pieces off of, the ground cover itself is the bottom of the old Coleman. I swiped these off of it, and the rings there, and this is one of the smaller poles that went with it. Just kind of stitched them in there, and it does a pretty good job of holding the tent out, so it's not exactly sitting on your head first thing in the morning. I thought about stringing a tarp up over the top of it, but then I thought, you know, it's not supposed to rain till tomorrow night late into Saturday, but I am going to put the rain fly on it tonight. I thought that'd be a little bit better, a little closer down to you. Let's see what that looks like. I'm not going to do the vestibule thing right now. Probably will after a while. Pull this out, bring it out to the point. Thought, you know, it is going to be mid-30s. I'm just going to drop that down over the screen. The actual tent itself doesn't have a solid door or even a half door. It's full screen. You really can't call this thing, it's a 3-season tent. Let's see how comfortable I am in it tonight, huh? Right now, I got to get busy getting the rest of my stuff in here and then get some firewood. Poor old thing ain't been out of the bag long enough to get the wrinkles out of it. If the picture looks a little different, that's because I had to swap cameras. We're on one I can trust now. With everything set up, I just wanted to see if I could get my backpack in there. It's pretty good, actually. You know, it's supposed to be a 2-man tent. Let me give you a shot down inside. I think the overall length is, 80 something. And the width here at the front's 59 inches. You see that goes in there pretty good down by my feet. No issues at all. And that's the, I should say, the bow in the middle keeps the rainfly pushed up off the top of the tent. That's actually as tight as it's ever been. Could probably bring them up just a little bit more. But this was kind of a test night anyway. The beeswax still looks pretty nasty on it, but I believe she's waterproof. Like I said, not a 4-season tent by any means. A nice little shack to spend the night in. I'm still kind of new to starting a fire with the beech bark. Then again, didn't I? Birch bark. We got beech around here, and you can't do this with beech. I'm gonna give it a shot tonight. I think I got something down there that'll take a spark. Not sure. if I can do this without knocking everything over. Pretty sure I'm doing this wrong. Oop, there it did. Give me just a minute to regroup. I messed around practicing there with my low spark throwing, and it lit off, so I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get it going. For some reason or other, the bark feels a little, oh, that smells good. Bark feels a little damp, more than oily. I don't know if I've messed around with it in that bag and it's picked up moisture somehow. Doesn't hardly make sense. I believe that was a big woodpecker that flew by here, and he's still sitting over there in the tree screaming. I don't know whether Mr. Big Bad Owl got after him or something else was bothering him. Maybe that hawk was making a pass on him. Upset him pretty good, didn't it? Doesn't take much of a fire to make me happy. Yeah, it's probably 40. I didn't bring a temperature indicator with me this time. Not long before the sun goes down behind the trees over here. Hopefully by then I'll have just about enough coals over there. Eat me up a can of soup. I'm just a little hungry. I have no idea what time it is. Not a bad looking little camp. I got dinner over without you guys. Just had some chicken noodle soup, crumbled up Ritz crackers. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. Little brother David V came by. Of course, you know when that happens, we generally don't turn the camera on too much. We had a nice visit here at the fire. Stoked it up a little bit. Matter of fact, I put just about the last of the firewood that I gathered up on there. I'm guessing it's probably somewhere around 9 o'clock. Still got some hot rods running over here. And a helicopter or two every once in a while, so if you hear one of them, kind of know what it is. They've been doing maneuvers a lot here lately. Kind of makes me wonder if they're getting ready to go somewhere. Had a really good afternoon over here, you know. Felt good. Need to get out and just kind of hang out over here with the birds. And that woodpecker, I'm assuming it was a woodpecker. That's what I saw fly over screaming. He didn't get over that little fit for a while. You see me rotating around a little bit every once in a while. Not a whole lot of fire going on there. Well, more than I usually have, but quite a bit bigger bed of coals there than I usually have too. I don't have a real busy day planned tomorrow. See what I can get done with the lean-to. And just kind of hang out some more. It's supposed to be a nice day. Up in the 50s. I'm taking you get away from the fire here. It's probably, I don't know, 38 right now, maybe 36. It's pretty cool. This fire feels really good. I'm gonna have a little shot of hot water tonight. Kind of like always. Not too much on a cold night. want to say cheers tonight to a fellow that I feel a whole lot of camaraderie with. Kindred spirits. A lot of kindred spirit going on there. A lot of our background is a little bit familiar to each other. Kind of a boss of our own most of the time. Really didn't want to listen to anybody else. As long as you can make a living at it, right? That's what counts. Dan, thanks for being out there, brother. You've been a subscriber for a pretty good while now. Thank you. I'll let you guys see what that looks like from my side sometime. Not going to be too much longer. I'm going to slip into the long johns. Start cuddling into them sleeping bags for the night. Just going to let the fire go. Kind of hard to get away from it right now. I've thought about it just a little bit more. I think I will the next time I use this tent. I've got a piece of plastic at the house that will cover the front of that, clear plastic. I try the heat retention thing with that with the fire. That's throwing off a lot of heat for it being as cool as it is tonight. Oh, it sure is good to get outdoors. No doubt about that. Feels good to get in the fresh air. I'll turn toast this side for a minute. It's not hard to get cabin fever. Not for me. A couple other folks out there have said something about it also. Hiking with Mike, the gentleman out of Florida. Take a look at his channel if you would. You might find it interesting. I do. He likes my fire reflector too. I think I've told you folks before, I rescued that out of a dumpster. I didn't have any legs on it. It's an old tabletop. I think it's 32 by 46. Kind of an odd size. It's a steel table, enamel coated on both sides. So I don't really worry about it rusting. And it's really handy. Cover up the pit with it when I'm not here. Yeah, that works out good too. I think I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm just going to sit here and relax, finish the rest of my pipe. Might sneak another shot of hot water. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for coming along today, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Talk to you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. No idea what time it is. Don't really care. You see my breath? Pretty cool this morning. Definitely low 30s. If not 30, maybe. I think I saw a little bit of frost on the tent there. I slept good and warm. Had a good night. I'm going to get back in the tent and just kind of hang out because it's still kind of warm in there. Good morning again. Back in the tent. Took a little walk about there, just around the campsite, looking around. Thought I heard some critters out there last night, but I guess maybe I was dreaming. Had me a morning pipe. Thought I'd come back in here and kind of square things away a little bit. I'm going to be here a good part of the day, but kind of getting neatened up a little bit this morning and ready to pack stuff away. And I wanted to talk about a couple of pieces of kit that I brought. This is the first time for one of them. The other one's been on a bunch of camping trips. I've just never talked about it. And Kyle, Plant-Based Outdoors, he asked about it. The other day when I came out, it was on my other pack. I think that maybe this'll focus. It's a Browning. It comes in a little knife set, a little 3-inch folding knife, lock blade. Tonneau point. It's somewhere between this campsite and where I park out there. It fell off of my pocket. It didn't have a real strong clip on it, plastic clip. And this is also plastic, shaped like a beaner, works like a carabiner, but no load bearing at all. The best thing about it, and the reason it stays clipped on one of my backpacks all the time, is because it's a pretty decent little flashlight. I don't know the looms on it, and you can see it has a green mode. This one is actually kind of blue-white. I'm not sure which watch battery it runs off of, but it is replaceable. It's kind of nice with the hammock. Clip it over the ridge line. You may have seen it in a video or two. I haven't used it a whole lot. It's not very bright. The white light is a continuous 15 hours. And the little package said that the green light is 60 hours continuous. I'm not sure exactly what all the difference is. The little green light's actually pretty handy at night. But Browning, very useful. Can't put no load on it. It would snap right off. The other piece of gear is a new headlamp. This one's from Smoke. Thank you, brother. It's a Pro 4 Tactical. Oh, wait, you can read that. There again, another one. Package. Nowhere on this apparatus does it have how many looms it is. I will say that it's pretty bright. It has high, low, and strobe. It's kind of heavy like you'd expect. 3 AAAs or 1856. That's kind of nice actually, because I have a spare one of those now. Last night was the first time I'd had it out and used it. I'll play that too long, so that bothers some people. It's really good. It was my major light source on this camp out. I'll say that it is adjustable also. Still a little stiff because it's new. Got to focus on it. I'll talk more about this at night at some point in time. So far, I guess a preview. Seems to be a good little light, and it's supposed to be pretty tough. The adjustments on it, quite nice. Stays where you want it to. It actually tilts up a little more than some of them do. Okay. A little bit of light corner there this morning. Just so I'm not deceiving anybody by wearing a lot of the same thing you see most all the time. Regular old socks. But I have, I'm not leggings or whatever you want to call these. They're polyester spandex. They're really warm. For me, 40 degrees, that's really nice if you're going to be outside all day. So I was a little bit warmer than just a pair of pants. And last night, on top of this, I added another thermal shirt and bottoms. And let me show you the bottoms here. You guys have heard me complain about my hips getting cold. Okay, well, I took some fleece patches and sewed them on over where my hips go, or where these go over my hips. And a little bit of forethought there. There's an opening I can drop a hot hands in. And I guess it would be a hot hips, wouldn't it? Last night, I didn't have any issue with that at all, and I did not have to put a hot hands in there. I did have a pair in the sleeping bag with me last night. Really handy. They spent most of the night down on my feet. I had no cold foot issues whatsoever last night. And partly because of the Merrimont down bag. Excuse me. Down bag. The balaclava around the neck. The old sleeping hat. I brought this jacket with me. You guys have seen this one in several videos. Primarily my outdoor jacket this time of year. Over the top of something. I took it and laid it over my feet also, and it didn't stay. Nice thought. I don't know that it helped a little bit when I put those hot hands down in the bottom to get the foot box warm. And then, of course, I was inside the Napier Sports. The pillow thing worked out real well. I done a little sewing job on it, as you can see. Kind of contoured it. Left one end open so that I can get the old pillow out. And I added a piece of 1-inch memory foam, the block you see there. It done well last night. Didn't go down. The memory foam warms up pretty good to your head. I liked it. It doesn't escape from it now with it stitched in there like that, but I can still get the contents out of the bag, so to speak. That was a good deal. I was a little bit warm this morning in here because I lit this thing off. Just wanted to see if it'd make much of a difference. The center pole there made quite a bit of difference. I'm still touching it this morning because I'm sitting back in the tent a little bit, but it gave me more room. I didn't care if this back here sags, you know, feet back there anyway. I believe I'm starting to get a little hungry. I'm going to fire that alcohol rascal back up. Pick some kind of breakfast. I'm not real sure exactly what just yet. Stick around today. Not sure exactly what all's going to go on, but I'm going to be outdoors. Good old spam, eggs, and toast this morning. Weatherman said it's going to be partly cloudy. It looks mostly sunny right now, doesn't it? Probably cloud up later on this afternoon. Guys, I'm trying to sit as still as I can. So far I counted 9. There they go. Well, some of them did. You guys see that buck? There goes 3 right up there behind the lean-to. Ooh, look at that proud boy this morning. Looking right at me. Six point. Evidently I'm not much of a threat, huh? No, there's at least 4 more right back up there somewhere. I think the lean-to, there they are. They're on back up in the woods. These 2 little does. And Mr. Buck there. don't know whether he likes me being here or not. But I don't want to spook him. It's a good shot of him coming across there. And then trotting on off up into the woods. Boy, that was a nice surprise this morning. Glad I was able to catch that one. Maybe they'll loop back around behind me here. I can't get breakfast cooked for looking at the deer. There was two more in that field up there. They went on back towards that little pond I went over to one time. Back to cooking. That bacon bag works really good for a windscreen. Folds down the same size as the piece of aluminum foil did, and it unfolds quite a bit bigger and a lot more sturdy. What would be a good skillet full of cheesy eggs and Spam, that little Texas Pete. Ooh, listen to that. How about that, Carolina Chris? Wind picked up a little bit. Was expecting 10-mile-an-hour winds today, I think. Either way, it's about time to start working on this thing. Get it disassembled. See where we're going to go from there. I don't know. Took that piece off. I figure out what we're going to do with them two. I'd give you a shot of the tent with the vestibule stretched out. It done pretty good last night. Can't complain. I didn't have the flap down last night. I had it rolled up. Got a little condensation. I was curious because of all the beeswax I put on it. It looks pretty nasty on the front there. I got to get the hairdryer out. Finish melting that in. Looks like it's going to be a nice day anyway. Take advantage of the sun while it shines. And get to my disassembly over here. That's almost one of those situations where if you didn't know, you wouldn't know. It cleaned up real well. Now let's see what I can do about these two little cedar trees. I just decided to leave well enough alone. If the wind had taken them on down, that's where they would have landed anyway. Maybe a little different, who knows. But that's a day for a chainsaw. We get over here to cut up this white oak. Just ball those and go ahead and cut them up too. Alright, sit down and have a mid-afternoon pipe. I'm guessing somewhere around 2 o'clock. All I got left to do is get the rest of my tent down and in the bag. And I've got everything stowed away. Got all the bundles of what was left over from the hobo shack. And went pretty smooth, except for the trees still hung up. Can't do much about that right now. Those deer were a nice surprise this morning. I hope those pictures come out well. Coyotes howled a couple of times last night, and the hoot owls played a tune for a few minutes, but I heard them move off that way to the north. Got kind of warm out here. Feels good though, not complaining, not one bit. Much rather it be like this than snow on the ground, huh? This was a nice relaxing stay. Got something accomplished. I'll be working a little bit more on the bench next time I come over. I think that's going to be a a good addition to the campsite here. Just can't help but look around all the time. There's birds everywhere today out here. Had a little lark of some sort come and land on the camera just a little while ago. Gorgeous day here in Tennessee. Thanks for coming along, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this one. It was fun for me. Got a good night's sleep in the tent. The modification worked out real well. 30 degrees last night, and I'm sure you guys saw that I got a piece of Reflectix. After sleeping on it several times, I have found out for me that it works better for me to lay right on the Reflectix and then put my mat underneath it. The Adventure Ridge, it's 2 1/4 inches, self-inflating. It worked out better that way than the Reflectix on the ground for me. If you're having issues with it, give it a shot. But I do recommend the Reflectix stuff, especially for ground camping. You can use it in your hammock too. You just got to get used to it being in there with you. Or you can use it between your hammock and the underfoot. Thanks again, everybody. Till next time, just waiting for the next big adventure.